Marco.
Night Swim is directed by Bryce McGuire and stars Wyatt Russell, Kerry Condon, and Amelie Hoeferle, and is more or less what you get when you cross Amityville with a summer pool party. Now, as part of my New Year's resolution for this channel, I wanted to go see more new horror movies in theaters and do more new reviews because I haven't really done them in a while. So first on my list was Night Swim. Now typically January horror isn't something that I usually look forward to because that's typically when studios are dumping a lot of their crap. So when it came to Night Swim being the first on the docket here, I kind of went in with a little bit of trepidation. But it turns out that the movie is surprisingly okay. It feels very standard in terms of what modern horror is today, and especially what we get out of Blumhouse recently. The acting is more or less decent across the board. There's not too many issues I have there, as well as the direction too. Like I said, this movie is just kind of okay. Now, the basic gist of this movie is Wyatt Russell is this baseball player who is suffering from the early onset of multiple sclerosis, and he and his family are kind of looking to settle down while he tries to rehab and or move on to the next stage of his life after baseball. So they find this house, and the pool more or less starts possessing Wyatt Russell, and it starts making him stronger, while at the same time it's terrorizing the rest of his family. Now, what the basic plot of all this is that the pool itself is more or less like a wishing well. And Wyatt Russell's character wishes to return to the big leagues and be stronger than ever, but this wishing well is kind of like that monkey's paw sort of thing, where if you make a wish, it has to take something back. In this case, it's a human life. So while it's granting his wish to make him stronger and better, it's also trying to kill his wife, his daughter, and his son. Which is actually kind of a cool idea. I like that in concept. However, I feel like in execution, they didn't really hit the mark. And a lot of that comes from the actual rules to this whole wishing well pool thing. Because I feel like the rules of the pool, while defined, are also not really adhered to. The whole wish for a life thing is all well and good, but after the wish is kind of made, the pool kills the family cat. Isn't that kind of a life for a life, but maybe it only involves human lives? I mean, it doesn't explicitly say. And then plus when we get to the very end of the movie, when Wyatt Russell has gone all Jack Torrance on his family, his young son is about to be taken by the pool, and he snaps out of it, and then decides to sacrifice himself in order to save his son. Now that's again where the rules sort of don't apply anymore. Like, his wish is still intact. He's still healthy. Wouldn't it try to kill somebody else, or does it not matter? It gave him his health, but it can also take his life for that wish in a moment of self-sacrifice? Yeah, there needed to be more clarity in terms of what exactly the rules to all this were. But like I said, it is very standard kind of modern horror flair. There were a couple nice little scare moments in there. One of them is during the Marco Polo scene where the girl thinks their boyfriend is behind her, but it's in fact one of the ghosts. And the other comes from when the wife goes to the former owner's house, and that owner is dropping a whole bunch of exposition and how this pool works. And as the former owner is explaining it to her, you could see that the water is slowly still possessing her. And it starts like leaking out of all her pores and everything. And it really sort of like twists her mannerisms. It's just really creepy. Like, the atmosphere in this movie is actually really good. Like, moments like that, like the little scare moments, the jump scares weren't really abused that much in this movie. I thought they were pretty well controlled. Those combined with the atmosphere, I thought were really, really good. It's just the writing just wasn't tight enough. Not enough for my liking. So my recommendation on this would be just wait for streaming. You don't need to rush out to go see this in the theater. It's not really worth what, you're going to pay to go see this at a cinema or anything like that. Just wait for streaming. But like I said, it's okay. It's nothing terrible, but it's also nothing worth going and spending money on in the theater as well.
Marco.
But let me know down in the comments if you were planning to go see Night Swim, or if you have already seen it, what were your thoughts on it? Again, post your comments below, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Adios. Now, GTFO!